Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for being here and spending time with me. I took the day off from the Royals yesterday because there are times I get so frustrated that I can pull the hair from my head one by one. So let me explain. Now, with the courtroom debacle behind us, we have quite a list of criminal and semi-criminal activity and bad behavior which we can compile and hold against Harry, and even the old excuse that nothing can be done to Harry until he has committed an illegal act does not apply anymore because he admitted verbally and in writing that he used certain substances which is indeed highly illegal in Britain, and he admitted to using it over many years in Britain. So there is your illegal act. Anyway, let's look at a list of Harry's transgressions. 1. He admitted to taking drugs. 2. He, as a royal, fifth in the line of succession, has on 2 occasions that I'm aware of publicly stated that he does not want to be a prince. 3. He has numerous times stated how much he dislikes Britain. 4. He is wielding a personal vendetta in His Majesty's court against His Majesty's government. First, through the action he brought against the government for metropolitan security, and then by saying that Parliament is at rock bottom. 4. He has verbally and in writing defamed the current monarch and his wife, the current queen. 5. Harry committed an act of contempt of court, 1. by bringing a frivolous case without evidence, and 2. by lying in court. 6. Harry has now on a number of occasions made political statements publicly, not just against the British government, but also against the American Constitution. The list is indeed long, but these 6 items are the main transgressions on which basis his titles, and I mean all of them, should be stripped. And that, my friends, is where I lost my shit and needed to take the day off. I'm asking you all, how many more times must I and Lady C and others tell some of you that his titles can be stripped? And I mean all of them. It just takes different actions for the different titles. Please listen to me. And if you don't believe me, do what you always do and run off to your beloved Lady C and go listen to her. She has given you the long version of the explanation and the short version, just like I did in the past and in many videos before. Lady C is a historian of sorts, and if you respect her knowledge more than you do mine, then go right ahead and go listen to one of her recent videos in which she clearly states that King Charles III can remove Harry's princely title with the stroke of a pen, and that his ducal title, a peerage title, must be removed by Parliament. She says it, she knows it, she even gives examples of such steps taken in the past, some even not so long ago. And although I'm quite happy to accept Lady C's short version, my studies have shown me a little different, namely that there is a difference between a royal peerage title and a hereditary peerage title, namely that the royal ducal titles, with the exception of Lancaster and Cornwall, are all gifted titles, gifted by the reigning monarch. Although there is uncertainty in the ranks about this, I did discuss the issue with a person from the British Commission, and according to him, because the ducal titles are gifted to an individual, usually the sons of the monarch, it is also up to the monarch to remove those titles. Non-royal peerage titles like duke and earl, etc., are usually inherited, and the titles are usually associated with land or a county, and therefore it takes an act of parliament after bad conduct or an illegal act to remove the title. There's one other instance during which a peer can lose his title or forced to give it up. Peers are also expected to give up their peerage titles should they wish to enter the House of Commons and then put themselves up for voting to become a member of Parliament. They can, however, maintain their seat in the House of Lords without having to give up their titles. But again, if they want to be a voted party-specific politician, they have to give up their titles. Either completely give it up or pass it on to a son or put it in abeyance. And if they don't, they risk being stripped of it. But to get back to the monarchy versus parliament, many royals have lost their prince and princess titles for way less reasons than Harry has accumulated so far. Prince Michael had to forfeit his title and his position in the line of succession when he married Baroness Christine from Reitnitz, who is Catholic. When the Royal Marriages Act was changed, he was reinstated in 2015. As you all know, the new Titles Deprivation Act is coming up for, I think, a second reading in November. So currently, the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917 is still in effect, and the act reads, forfeiture of title of peer or prince. His Majesty may appoint a committee of his Privy Council, of which 2 members at least shall be members of the Judicial Committee, to inquire into and report the names of any persons enjoying any dignity or title as a peer, whether a hereditary peer or a British prince with a peerage title, okay, who have borne arms against His Majesty and his allies. 2. The committee shall have power to take evidence. 3. Such report shall be laid upon the table of both Houses of Parliament for the space of 40 days, and if by that time there has not been passed a motion, it shall be taken as final and presented to His Majesty. Because of the First World War, the original act referred specifically to war and bearing arms, thus a physical act. But in 1919, the King used this very same act to deprive the following people of their title. His Royal Highness Charles Edward, Duke of Albany, Earl of Clarence and Baron Arklow. His Royal Highness Ernest Augustus, Duke of Cumberland and Teviotdale, Earl of Armagh. His Royal Highness Prince Ernest Augustus of Cumberland, Henry Viscount of Toff of Corran, Baron of Ballymote. And therefore the words, or have adhered to His Majesty's enemies, were added, because these people did not necessarily pick up weapons and fought against Britain, but sided with the enemy or sympathized with the enemy. So what is Harry doing? He is siding with the enemy of the monarchy. He is trying to damage the monarchy. As a matter of fact, defamation against the king or his wife is still to this day an act of treason under current law. Waging a personal vendetta in or out of court against His Majesty's government is indeed an act of treason. Any peer, any royal who wages any kind of war, be it with a sword, a pen, or his tongue, is guilty of treason. And at the very least, if he has not committed a physical act of terror, should and will be stripped of his title. So why not Harry then? Now, for those who still want to argue this point, go and Google it, and you will find a list of peerage titles and honorary titles which had been removed for various reasons, usually due to criminal acts they have committed. Go look it up and you will see. For instance, Rolf Harris losing his honorary title, Prince Charles Edward, grandson of Queen Victoria, lived the rest of his life as a commoner. If you bother to look, you will find many examples. Not always in one place, because it's not usually something to be proud of and does not always interest mainstream media. The point is that one of the main reasons why a peerage title is stripped is because of considered treason or a criminal act. Well, not only has Harry committed treason by defaming the king and his wife and defaming his government, but Harry also admitted to illegal acts. His drug taking, and him and his wife had committed perjury in a British court. All of these things are actually, in fact, illegal acts. So why is there still any doubt about stripping Harry's titles? Why? There is enough reason to, more than what was needed for anyone else. The main, biggest thing anyone and everyone is forgetting is that the British monarchy is a constitutional monarchy, which means that the entire monarchy can be voted out by the public. The entire line of succession can be wiped out in one referendum, and that will include the king and queen themselves. So how can anyone even imagine in their wildest dreams that it is impossible to strip Harry? In short, as proven to you in this video once again, as told to you by the likes of numerous historians and Lady C, whom you all like and respect for her knowledge, Harry's prince title and his HRH can and should be taken by the king, and like Lady C said, with a stroke of the king's unleaking pen. The king should also assemble his privy council to deal with and vote on Harry's ducal title, so that he can issue that letters patent and Parliament can vote on it. With a previous reading of the Titles Deprivation Act and amendment thereto, it was the king and Rishi Sunak who opposed it. And what did they get in return for it? Harry went and gave numerous interviews blasting his family, the monarchy, and Mr. Sunak's government. It is almost comical if it wasn't so sad. Dear King Charles and Mr. Sunak, you were fools and got paid back for your selfishness and foolishness. So do nothing and see what Harry does next. Remember, he has 4 more cases coming up. Now, I'll say it again. They will be doing Harry a favor. It may not look like it, but it is true. The faster Harry reaches rock bottom, the faster he will need or seek help. And the faster they will rid themselves of Meghan Markle, because there is no way in hell she will stick around without those titles. Okay, guys, I apologize for dishing up the same stuff over and over again, just in different words and sometimes different circumstances. But it is utterly frustrating to be doing all this work, all this research, and still have people arguing with things and buzzwords like birthright. No, it is not birthright. It is just being eligible by birth. And no one should ever be allowed to abuse that privilege. Okay, guys, that is it for now. Of course, there's a lot more. I am beyond tired of all Meghan Markle's PR shite. The king wanted to send Lily a replica of the Queen's little house, but they said it was too extravagant and all that BS. I do not even want to pay attention to such rubbish anymore. I do not care about Meghan Markle and her lies anymore. She is a joke, a ridiculous cartoon of a real woman with some class and style. All I want is for her to retreat and shut up. I wish she would go do Hallmark movies again. It'll keep her busy and we don't have to watch it. Anyway, there I go again. So let me shut up for now. And you guys go off and please take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next video. Bye.